Coming up on Sports Extra, UNC has dropped about 60 points in back-to-back games. They disrespected the U. Do these Tar Heels have a date with destiny?
Playoffs? We'll talk about playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
No Marcus, no problem. 2 games and 2 wins for the #1 ranked Tar Heels. Will they maintain the success without Paige?
And they're tired of being bridesmaids. The field hockey team is on to the Final Four once again. All that and more, Sports Extra starts
right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Hello and welcome to Sports Extra, the UNC Media and Journalism School's only student-produced sports talk, highlights, and analysis show. I'm Jordan Black.
And I'm Luis Fernandez. Football and basketball were dominant, and Carolina picked up some clutch playoff wins this weekend. Carolina football players and fans got to enjoy one great senior day. We're going to break down the highlights based on roles of 4 seniors. Let's go ahead and get started with linebacker Shaquille Rashad. He's had 4 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions, and 115 hard-hitting tackles during his time here. Oof. Let's hop over to offense for someone who doesn't get nearly enough credit. During Landon Turner's tenure, the Tar Heels have 102 rushing touchdowns. Marquise Williams sure has appreciated the help. Next up, lift him up, there you go, Jeff Schottmer. The linebacker has totaled 249 tackles, 17.5 of them for loss. And this interception on Saturday was the 4th of his career. Check him out. There you go, Jeff Schottmer. Almost returned it, but gets tackled the last second. What more do you expect from the senior leader? Now, let's go ahead and wrap things up with quarterback Marquise Williams. He has 53 passing touchdowns, 31 rushing, and 3 receiving. He's good. He's very good. You've got the right idea there, Elijah Hood. Let's bow down. Yes, bow down. All hail Queese. All hail Queese. Final score, 59-21, Carolina.
So what sort of effect did the Miami Mauling have on UNC's AP ranking? Carolina jumped 5 spots to number 12. Did you hear that? Number 12 in the AP poll this week after dominating Miami. It's the highest ranking for the Heels since Carolina earned the same spot in the 1998 preseason poll. The Heels finished number 6 in 1997.
Football analyst Amanda Lee joins us now. There's a lot to analyze after that beatdown, Amanda.
Yeah, you're right, Lewis. After back-to-back dominating wins against conference opponents, it looks like this team is starting to hit its stride. Carolina has turned its high-powered offense up a notch, scoring a school record 125 points in just 2 games. So far in November, the Heels have scored 17 touchdowns. They scored that many in all of October. Marquise Williams has been responsible for 9 of those touchdowns, including that run you just saw. The defense has stepped up too. It held Miami scoreless in the first half and has forced 6 turnovers in these last 2 weeks. Those turnovers had led to 35 Tar Heel points. Carolina also hasn't allowed a turnover in the last 3 games. Carolina is currently ranked number 23 in the college football playoff poll, but after 2 really big wins against Duke and Miami, they're hoping that they're going to move up when the polls come out tomorrow. So if they actually do still have a chance to make the college football playoff, shocking, I know, but if they beat NC State and Virginia Tech convincingly and defeat Clemson in the ACC championship game, they're going to have a pretty good resume going into the college football playoff. And they'll need a little bit of help from some other teams to get them to lose, but they're going to have a pretty good argument that they shouldn't be overlooked. So in order to clinch the Coastal Division in the ACC, Carolina's going to need to defeat either Virginia Tech or NC State. Let's see how the 2 teams stack up. With weapons like Marquise Williams, Elijah Hood, and Mac Hollins, it's no surprise that Carolina is statistically dominant on offense compared to VT and NC State, scoring 44.2 points per game in conference competition. Virginia Tech and NC State score about the same amount of points in conference games, but the Hokies get the edge with 25.5 points per game. Things get a little bit closer on the defensive side of the ball. NC State allows the most points per conference game with 27.2 points, while there's just about a point difference between the Heels and the Hokies. Now, based on those stats, Carolina should beat both of these teams, but not so fast. Both of these games are still away in hostile environments. It will be longtime Virginia Tech head coach Frank Beamer's last home game in Blacksburg. Plus, NC State is always a big rivalry game. The Heels can't overlook these teams, especially with their extra motivation.
I'm totally right, Amanda. Those little hidden factors, especially at the end of the season, could really help dictate things. That's football analyst Amanda Lee, live in studio. Thanks, Amanda.
Sports is often called the front porch of the university. Our Sam Ward traveled to Missouri and reports that it can also be right at the heart of social change on campus.
We've seen sports been used as a vehicle for positive social change before with our very own Dean Smith, and this past week we saw it again in Missouri. It was just a few days ago that the quad behind me was filled with protesters demanding equality on campus and resignation of Mizzou President Tim Wolf. The protest gained traction and media attention when the football team and head coach joined the boycott. Shortly after, the president resigned.
A football team is very involved with the community, and I think it really helped the students to know that they had the backing of both our football team and their coach in such a crazy time.
The football players were willing to give up their playing time to stand together to fight for something they saw as bigger than the game.
I commend the football players and the guys on the team that decided that they were going to stand up for something that they believed in and for something that was bigger than a football game and bigger than a football season. I think that the Concerned Student 1950 group was getting a lot of local attention here, but the football team is what ultimately brought national attention to what was going on in Columbia, Missouri.
The protesters still have unmet demands, and some have questioned their methods. But one thing is certain, the need for university administrators to be responsive to deeply held convictions has never been greater.
I think that what happened here at Mizzou is really going to set an example for other schools and show their student athletes that at any time they can stand up for something that they believe in that's really bigger than the game, bigger than sports.
In Columbus, Missouri, I'm Samantha Ward, reporting.
The Mizzou Tigers played on Saturday, losing by 4 to BYU.
Carolina basketball is back. Okay, no, for real this time. Like seriously, these games counted. UNC opened the season in Annapolis against Temple on Friday night. Let's jump into the end of the back and forth first half. Theo Pinson drains the three. Heels go up 11 into the break. Don't you smile, Theo. Don't you do it. Be strong. Kennedy Meeks worked the Owls throughout the game. That's that's unguardable, man. Career high 25 points for him. And at the end of the game, Jonathan Bryce Johnson reaches back and demoralizes Temple with his putback jam, and they do not like it. Take another look. Maybe not the best placement by Johnson. Heels win 91-67. The Heels made their home debut Sunday against Fairfield. I want to talk about a fast start. Justin Jackson opens up the scoring after just 5 seconds. UNC was on pace to score 960. But Fairfield hung in there. Look, the Stags keep it close with that three. Speaking of three-pointers, who would fill the void left by injured Marcus Page? Oh, that's right. It's Nate Britt. He buried a career-high 4 threes. Ooh, silky smooth from outside. And he shared the wealth. Alley-oop alert. Here it comes. Ooh, Isaiah Hicks drops the anvil on the Stags. Ooh, Heels pull away 92-65. Joining us now is gentleman, scholar, and basketball analyst Brett Thompson to talk about opening weekend. Brett, what stood out to you through those two games?
Thanks, Lewis. And I'm not so sure how welcome I am on desk, considering that we're now a football school. While the football team stuck to the ground this weekend, UNC basketball launched an aerial assault on its opponents, shooting 35 threes. 2 things led to such high volume outside shooting: strong passing on the perimeter and Fairfield electing to play the zone against Carolina. When the Heels can swing the ball, or Theo Pinson can deliver a perfect skip pass like that right there, they can get open looks. And so far, they've been able to bury them, no pun intended there, Joel, hitting nearly 43% of their long balls.
So you mentioned Theo Pinson has played some pretty efficient ball against Fairfield. What can he do for this team?
Well, when Theo Pinson is flourishing, every single teammate benefits from him. When Pinson finished against Fairfield with 11 points on 5 shots, he had 8 rebounds like that one right there, and most impressively, 8 assists with 0 turnovers. There's a dime to Justin Jackson. His court vision is impeccable, and even when he's not on the floor, he can energize his teammates from the bench. He's going to be so much fun to watch this year as a starter.
So that Fairfield game was part of the CBE Hall of Fame Classic. What do the Heels have facing them next?
So remember last year when we talked about kind of being afraid of facing a hot shooting Wofford team in the NCAA tournament?
Definitely.
We said, forget it, we're going to schedule them anyway.
Of course, why not?
The Terriers are defending the Southern Conference Championship this year, and they hit 10 three-pointers in their season opening loss to Mizzou. Freshman guard Fletcher McGee led the team with 22 points. They're going to test UNC's perimeter defense early and often. The good news for the Heels is that Wofford struggled against an inferior Missouri team. It's just not quite as good as UNC, allowing the Tigers to hit 56% from the field. Carolina then travels to Northern Iowa on Saturday for what was supposed to be Marcus Page's senior homecoming game. Unfortunately, Page will likely be out, still nursing that injured right hand. The Panthers dropped their season opener to Colorado State on Saturday, 84-78. They don't have Ali Faroukmanesh on the team, but they do have a Jeremy Morgan who dropped 20 points on the Rams in that season opening loss.
We're looking forward to another week of Carolina basketball, even if the program is playing second fiddle to football like we all never expected. Isn't that right, Brett?
Yeah, I know I called it.
That's basketball analyst Brett Thompson. Appreciate it, man.
It takes a lot of athletic ability to be a cheerleader at a school like Carolina. So why doesn't cheerleading qualify as an NCAA sport? Tosses 20 feet in the air, flip after flip after flip, and chants on the sidelines. The UNC cheerleading team is more than those loud voices you hear on game day.
There's a lot of responsibility placed on us, not only how we carry ourselves in the gym and on the field and on the court, but also in our studies.
Cheerleaders' weeks are full with weightlifting workouts, practices, and of course, game days. Senior co-captain Carly York says her schedule is packed.
I looked at that calendar and there was maybe like 5 days where I'm not told what to wear, which just shows how much we do on a monthly basis.
Yet cheerleading isn't considered an NCAA sport. To be considered as such, a sport must meet 5 criteria. It must relate to athletic ability, have a defined season, be administered by an athletics department, have coaches, tryouts, and other eligibility requirements, and have a primary purpose of competition. Cheerleading falls short in just one of these categories, the competition aspect.
It's really difficult because cheerleading isn't a sport, but they expect us to perform like any other athlete would, but we don't have the resources to do that.
Senior Carol DeSalva says those who don't see cheerleading as a sport should head on into the gym themselves.
Come in and try it and then let me know.
Despite the lack of recognition as a sport, most team members say cheering on the sidelines of Keenan or on the court of the Dean Dome is a blast.
There's moments in the Dean Dome, there's moments at Keenan where you just feel the energy of the crowd and you feel the players and you feel your teammates, and it's just like you're a part of that.
Though a federal judge ruled in 2010 that cheerleading isn't a sport, the American Medical Association is still aiming to make the case that it is because of all of the rigors and risks involved. Who knocked the dogs out? Who? We'll tell you when Sports Extra returns. The Lady Tar Heels fought the Liberty Flames with fire, and fire they did. The first half was a little boring from RJ's expression, come on RJ, but the second was quite the opposite. Check out this header from Jessie Scarpa that started the flame, and look at this last one from Alexa Newfield. It sealed the deal. Heels advance with a 3-0 win. Number 3 seeded Carolina will play Texas A&M on Friday at 3:30 p.m. in Clemson, South Carolina. And if the Heels win, they'll take on either Ole Miss or number 2 seed Clemson in round 3. That game would be played Sunday. The men's team goes into NCAA play as a 5 seed. The Heels take on either Coastal Carolina or North Florida at Fetzer on Sunday.
Women's soccer isn't the only team doing some dancing right now. The field hockey squad faced Boston University in the first round of the NCAA tournament Saturday, hoping to inch one step closer to the program's 7th national championship. Senior Nina Notman had a field day, get it? She scored the first of her 2 goals midway through the first half to put the Heels up 1-0. Francis E. Henry Stadium was packed. Check out the impressive turnout. It was more the same in the second half as freshman Ashley Hoffman found the net on a penalty corner to make it a 4-goal lead. Boston added on a pair of goals, but it was too late. Final score, Carolina 4, BU 2. Step 1, clips complete. Step 2, engage. The team continued its quest by shutting out the speedy Michigan Wolverines in the second round Sunday. It was a defensive battle, with Michigan looking to spoil Carolina's perfect record at home, but the Heels had other plans. On UNC's first corner of the game, Hoffman caught a lucky bounce and maybe a tip from the defense to score the only goal of the afternoon. The Carolina defense was perfect from start to finish, sending the program to its 7th straight Final Four. The championship tournament is in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Top-ranked Syracuse will play UConn Friday afternoon, followed by number 2 UNC and Duke. This is UNC's 20th Final Four and 7th in a row. The championship game is Sunday. Let's go live now to Rivers Upchurch, who's at Carmichael Arena. Rivers, it's too early to panic, but it's not a good story for a women's basketball team so far.
Yeah, that's right, Lewis. The women's team hosted 2 home games this weekend, and we'll pick it up with the team up by 15 in the 4th quarter against Gardner-Webb.
There's a 3 from the top of the key, gets the roll, and then another 3, bang, and then to the corner, another 3, bang. Gardner-Webb takes the lead. Carolina needs a timeout, and RJ is shook. But Jamie Cherry, with 7 seconds, she pulls up for the dagger and gives the Heels a 1-point lead. Shh, says Jamie Cherry. But Candace Brown drives to the lane with 7 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and she puts up the floater and banks it in. 1 second left. Carolina, a full court heave, and it's no good. And Gardner-Webb upsets the Tar Heels. If that loss wasn't heartbreaking enough, how about another one? Anytime the Tar Heels need clutch points, it's Jamie Cherry time. She put on a show getting the Tar Heels back into this game. There's the jumper, that's good. And then another jumper. Jamie Cherry can't miss. And with a chance to win, with a last-second shot, Jamie Cherry put it up, but she couldn't get the last one. Oregon wins 79-77.
After those 2 losses, it's clear that this team needs some help. But our Paul Beam tells us that the team is getting the players they need to give them that help.
Even though we're months away from the NCAA's ruling, the women's basketball team has already begun to feel the effects. The Heels lost star forward tandem Alicia Gray and Stephanie Vavunga and guard Jessica Washington. The Tar Heels were able to hang on to one crucial piece, though, sophomore guard Jamie Cherry, who says she had no plans to follow the lead of her former teammates.
Well, one thing I was big on was loyalty, and I've been loyal to Coach Hatchell since I was a freshman in high school. So it's something that I wouldn't even think about doing. So leaving would just not be the answer.
Keeping Cherry was big, but the main issue for the future of the program is the scandal's impact on recruiting. Despite the allegations, UNC was able to land a talented crop of freshmen. Guard Stephanie Watts says she came because she wanted to be a part of something special.
Really, it just felt like home to me. I just have faith in the coaches and what they're trying to do with this program, and I just want to be a part of it. It's just something really special.
It's important that a recruit feels secure and satisfied with their choice of school. Most highly touted recruits find this a difficult task because of all the great choices at their disposal. Guard Destiny Walker didn't have that problem.
A lot of people say that when you visit a school, you know it's a place for you. And even before I took all my officials to my other schools, I already knew this was the place for me. I loved the campus, it felt safe. I loved the coaches, I loved the teammates. Everything it felt right, and I love Carolina Blue.
The Heels just hope the gains will eventually offset the losses. In Chapel Hill, I'm Paul Beam, reporting.
I know they're still young and they might make some freshman mistakes, but after the rough start, the first-year players may have to contribute sooner than expected.
Well, the Heels hope to get on track when they host Florida A&M on Tuesday. Rivers Upchurch live at Carmichael. Thanks.
Subpar facilities and equipment are worries of the past for Carolina gymnastics. Haley Ray shows us the team's new lab.
After 15 years of planning and $500,000 in donations, the UNC gymnastics team has a new space to train in. Before the renovations, the equipment was on multiple levels, making it hard for the team to get the most out of practice.
This is the exact same room that we were in. They raised everything up 6 feet, so it's all level now. Before, The floor was 6 feet lower than we are now, and then you went up a step and there were the beams, you went up a step, there were the bars, and then you went up like another 6 feet and there was the vault. So they raised everything up to the level of the vault.
Construction began in April, and the new facility was open to the team at the beginning of September. A level floor isn't the only change. Donations helped buy all new equipment. A safer training environment is another added benefit. Now the athletes don't have to worry about falling flat in the middle of a routine.
We had like random mats everywhere, and if you weren't paying attention and just like running, you would like just trip because there'd be like random holes places, and I'm like, what is this? Like, why?
The Rams Club coordinated the fundraising efforts to jumpstart the renovation, and multiple Carolina gymnastic alums donated large portions. The improved gym has led to sharper routines, just in time for the upcoming January season.
We've already seen improvements in some of the gymnasts on our team, some of the returning gymnasts, and it's been fantastic. We actually have more functional square footage, but on a smaller footprint.
Although the gym seems complete, one small addition is in the works. The gymnasts are already picking out a spot for a 2016 Eagle Championship poster. In Chapel Hill, I'm Haley Ray reporting.
UNC Gymnastics opens its season at home on January 10th against William & Mary. A homestand for volleyball. The women are trying to extend their 7-game winning streak.
Spring cleaning came a little early, if you know what I mean. Two Tar Heels are doubles national champions after an impressive comeback. Junior Haley Carter and senior Whitney Kay claimed the top spot at the National Indoor Intercollegiate Tennis Championship on Sunday. That's a mouthful. The duo went down in the first set 4-6 to a tough Kentucky team, but rallied to win the next one 6-4. And in the tiebreaker set, Carter and Kay outplayed their Wildcat opponents to win 10-6. The Heels add this title to a team indoor crown and an individual outdoor championship in women's tennis in the past 7 months. Wow. On the men's side, UNC's Brett Clark and Robert Kelly finished as the runners-up in the doubles draw. The Tar Heel duo has finished in second place at 2 major tournaments this fall. Close, guys, but no cigar.
To volleyball we go. After losing to Pitt earlier in the season, UNC clinched its 8th straight win with a sweep against the Panthers on Saturday. Defense was the key in this revenge match. The Tar Heels blocked the Panthers 11 times. And in true Paige Neuenfeld fashion, the senior middle blocker had 6 of them. Look at her teammates. They're 11 that into offense. Carolina was hot. Abby Curry gets up and puts down with a kill there. And here's one of Taylor Leafs that we just saw. They take the win in the 13th win in ACC play this season. The Heels and Virginia Tech faced off Saturday in Carmichael Arena. There's a point for the Heels by freshman star Taylor Leaf. She's at it again. Carolina celebrated senior night by winning in 3 sets. They continue to dominate at home and face the Wolfpack from NC State next.
The women's swimming and diving teams sank highly ranked Texas on Friday. Taking on the number 6 Longhorns at Corey Natatorium, the Carolina women won 9 out of 16 events with a final score of 154 to 146. 7 swimmers got season best team times, giving their teammates something to cheer about. All right, jumping into diving, Elisa Dawson scored well with the judges. The sophomore placed first in 1 meter and 3 meter diving. UNC will compete in the Nike Cup Invitational in Chapel Hill this weekend. These Tar Heels shine bright on the stage.
Check out these stars when Sports Extra returns. Imagine if one of UNC's varsity teams practiced all semester to play just 1 game. Danielle Wallace shows us how this dance team is getting ready for its one and only fall performance.
The Star Heels dance team is leaping towards its fall showcase. These 36 women are practicing their pirouettes and improving their pliés. Star Heels choreographer Hunter Davis says although the dancers practice, they don't have to make perfect.
And I hope that we can continue to push people slightly. So we don't push people too much out of their comfort zones, but I hope that we can continue to push people to try to do their own personal best. And I think that being able to perform is really important.
The Star Heels certainly have an extensive skill set. From modern to jazz to even ballet, the ladies put in long hours to hone their talents. The hours of work not only build muscle, but more importantly, build strong friendships.
It's defined like my work ethic and body, because I hurt all the time. And I don't know, it's given me some of the best friends I'll ever have, so.
The dancers rave about the group's family aspect and say the support system is what really matters to them.
The team means family, people to talk to when everything else is wrong in college and you're away from your real family. It means a support system that you can always fall back on.
This dance family is ready to show us its strengths on and off the dance floor. In Chapel Hill, I'm Danielle Wallace, reporting.
Lewis, I think you could fit in with those star heels. I want to see your favorite move.
Oh, well, I'm a big fan of the fist pump. You got to get really deep down in your obliques and just, you got to come up like that. Yeah, see? You got to
An
really
ab
mean it.
workout. I like the double fist bump. We're going to try it together. This one. Like a 1,
There it is.
1, 2.
Thanks for watching.
Have a good night.